Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hello and welcome in today. Today I'm doing another 90-minute art challenge. A painting of, I call it Man in the Sky. Man in the Clouds, maybe? Man in the Clouds. So I'm painting this 90-minute art challenge. Now it's from the kind of official 90-minute art challenge, what Bobby Chia's been doing. I'm pretty sure he's the one that kind of created it. It's a Tumblr page you can find. If you search up hashtag 90-minute art challenge, you can find all the 90-minute art challenges there. I think last week I also did a 90-minute. No, I did a texture study. That was right. I did a texture study 90-minute art challenge. And I've done a few from the actual 90-minute hashtag 90-minute art challenge Tumblr's page, and he does them for his YouTube channel. He does the 90-minute art challenges, and lately I've been trying them out and putting them into the test. Yeah, and it's been a little bit of fun. I did this one la on the Sunday that's just been, so 6 days ago I did this one. I painted this and it was interesting. I had done my weekly tips, finished that off, and decided I'd do this 90-minute art challenges on Sunday night. However, that did cost me, I think it was Saturday night, Sunday. It was might have been Saturday night. No, it was Sunday, I think. So that, didn't get around to actually recording a video for my weekly tips, unfortunately, for the week that's about to come. But that's okay because I've got my weekly tips there ready to just record over, and that's not too bad. Um, so and then I've been working on my book. And I did another 90-minute art challenge on Wednesday. So technically I'm kind of somewhat 2 weeks ahead in a way for these YouTube videos and things like that for that. Weekly tips, I'm probably about 1.5 at the moment ahead. Not even one, because I haven't fully finished recording it and everything. So, but it's there, and this week, what I'll be doing this weekend, um, I might be starting on drawing something, but I'm thinking for weekly tips, I'm gonna have it a little bit more simple. I found an idea, um, that's a little interesting that won't take me as long to kind of draw and create, as some of the other weekly tips do. But yeah, that's been fun doing these 90-minute art challenges. Now this one in particular was quite difficult. And that was just because, you know, um, me trying to portray the clouds um, in a realistic way. I was trying to, get the tones right, trying to make it look like, fluffy kind of clouds there. Make sure it doesn't look too much like water. Um, and then also doing the hillsides there, trying to um, get the tones right and everything and things like that. I also think with this one, I might have delved a little bit too soon into color. Or that um or even if um I've used color, I've added color, I could have benefited from you know taking that color and then black and whitening it, so use an overlay layer or something to get rid of the color and just see the tones basically. That could have helped me a little bit later in the process, because a little bit later I was kind of changing colors and um, you know you trying to use like all these hue shifts to try to create this cloud texture, um, which isn't exactly the best to do. There is a little bit of hue shift there, and in that cloud where it does get a little bit more yellow in parts, but it's all got that kind of pinky yellow kind of tinge to it. All those clouds, a little bit of hue shift, but um, just trying to get that all right. But however, you learn from it, and I think I did kind of learn from the whole process. I can see now maybe something that I could try if I was to paint this again. Um, and again, it's within 90 minutes, you're rushing around trying to get all the little bits in here and there. And if you do get too caught up in a spot of your painting, um, then it can cost you, because you've only got 90 minutes. So if you get really caught up in um, the spot, you kind of you're not working the whole picture as a whole. So it kind of really brings that into play. Making sure that you kind of build your painting up as a whole rather than like working on individual parts. Which working on individual parts can be alright. For some situations, some paintings, and some things, working on certain elements at a time. Working on the character, then building up the background. Those things um, can work in your favor sometimes. Um, but yeah, in this 90-minute challenge thing, it definitely, dealing, trying to work it up as a whole does come into play a lot. Um, but yeah, it's always fun, and I've been doing these for a little while. I'm still kind of deciding how long I'll take on them. Just kind of doing these 90-minute art challenge video things I'm doing at the moment. Um, and these paintings, just doing those, and it's fun because I've done 2 in the last week, so it's definitely a potential to give me a lot of time to do other stuff rather than just always kind of painting. It's good to chew through that 90 minutes. That makes a video. So that gives me the rest of the week to work on other stuff. I've been working slowly on my book. Still, I've been just working on the front cover at the moment. I did a few edits on some other pages, but not too much to go really. But still, it needs some time, probably a couple of weeks or so of just me editing it together, and adding any other little extra details that I need to add, like the title page, and it feels sometimes a lot to chew. And that same with like a 90-minute art challenge. It feels like it's a lot to chew. This looking at this photo, looking at the reference you're painting, can feel like really daunting. It's like, oh, how can I achieve that within 90 minutes? I don't know what to expect. But sometimes you surprise yourself, and if you just kind of do parts here and there. I'm working on the hills, and I do a little bit of the hills. I place in, you know, the majority of it basically first. You know, get the most part there, and then I slowly build up on this part here. You know, the side of the hills, um, where the the shadows are. Uh, then I go back to the clouds and work on the clouds, and slowly, you know, build it up as I go. If you guys don't know, this is streamed on Twitch, and then put onto YouTube. So, you know, anyone interested can on YouTube can go down and find the Twitch to watch me on Twitch if you would like to watch me live at some point. And for yous on Twitch as well, if you are interested in my YouTube channel, the link is down below. Thanks for your kind words if you do comment on Twitch. It is great. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, put it onto my YouTube channel. These ones are, I stream every Tuesday night, NZD time, for just random streams. I'm working on something while I'm just chatting and things like that. And these streams are usually me, you know, I pre-recorded my painting and I talk over it. And sometimes I have guests in. Haven't had guests in for a little while. And yeah, I've been busy and a lot of other artists are busy at the moment. But I should one day, in the next few weeks, hopefully. I've been saying that for a little bit, but hopefully we should, you know, get an artist in at some point. um, yeah. But for now, you know, we're working on the 9-minute art challenge, and I talk about my process here. And yeah, also, you know, I have weekly tips as well that comes out every week. That's pretty cool to do. Like I said, mentioned before, I mentioned a little bit about my schedule last week with these 90-minute art challenges. But yeah. Anywho, you know, I'm working on the rocks. That was an interesting part of the painting process here. Trying to work out where the tones go and how the tones work. Now, if you don't know, you know this painting is actually twice as fast as, you know, I would actually be painting. So, you know, you can kind of see my speed and how I work things out a little better in some of the videos that I have done previously. Most of my painting speeds about four times faster at around about 4 times faster on average. This means I sped up the video 4 times as fast. But with this one, because it's 90 minutes, it's only sped up about twice. So you can kind of see my speed, what I work on a bit better. It's not as fast paced as those, you know, twice or 4 times as fast, so they can't, you know, I'm over here the second, and you can slowly see me kind of build up. You can see a bit more of the painting strokes I'm adding. And, you know, you can also kind of feel that, you know, sometimes of the painting I'm going much slower. I'm just kind of jotting down a little details here and there, adding in like dark tones or light tones, just key features and highlights and things like that. And then other times I'm going really fast and not taking my time as much and just adding in those quick details that I can. As you can see, you know, I'm adding in like yellow into the clouds here, as well as, you know, that pinky salmon-y color that you see. all over, which I don't know if it works in my favor too well. Like I said, I do feel like I could have benefited from a little bit more kind of a little bit more of a tonal study. Excuse me. Or even if I kind of from that point or something, I could have you know flat um gotten rid of the color somehow, and then possibly continued in tonal for a little bit again, and then continued. But with it being a 90-minute art challenges, that is another thing. It's I can, I do give myself that leeway sometimes. If I do need to do that kind of thing, I do usually kind of pause it for a minute or two, um, and then do a little, you know, excuse me. I do a little think, or how I'm gonna keep going forward with it if I need to. So sometimes it might it's an hour and a half of physically painting it, um, but it's a little bit more sometimes of just thinking about it sometimes, um, but usually it's as close to an hour and a half as I can really. Yeah, cool. But I don't have a lot of time at night to um kind of paint this per se. Uh, so an hour and a half is pretty much my whole night's worth of work gone. So it's pretty much after dinner, after um, everything. Once I get to my computer, it's about 8 o'clock. From there, I might start. It might take me 10 minutes to set up or something for the 90-minute art challenge. And then that's pretty much me till 9:40-ish, and by then, I'm pretty much finished for the night. I'm just kind of, I might, usually because I do sometimes, stop and think, or um, just have a break, because intensely painting for 30 or 40 minutes straight, or 20 minutes straight, um, you know, I I do just even 2 seconds, just get up in my chair or something like that, or a couple of minutes or so, so that can stretch it out, as well as keeping a hold of the time I'm actually painting on it. Making sure the goal is basically have an hour and a half of recorded painting time in video. So that means um, I gotta keep a track of how long I'm painting for, and also while I'm doing this, I also put it into the video place, and keep a track of how many minutes it says that the video length is, and then once it's an hour and a half, it's done. And sometimes I feel like it's done, um, going 40 minutes in, I'm like, it's done. And it's like, what do I edit? And, I did feel like kind of that way towards the finish of this as well, but um, it was like, there's so much I could work on with this one, I think. Um, I could really spend maybe 2 or 3 days just painting this, a whole day maybe. Um, just working on all the different details and trying to figure out that cloud and how I'm gonna achieve that looking, that much looking of the clouds and everything like that. I could spend quite a long time trying to do that. Um, so it's like, you know, I didn't have enough time to kind of do it, but you take things from it though. With every like 90-minute art challenge, you take um, you know, clouds. How do I render clouds? I think I've taken that a little bit into perspective. I still am not there, obviously. But I think I've had good practice in it, and now that I've tried and failed completely, maybe I can try and maybe hit something successful with it, because I completely failed it. I'm like, oh, this is definitely how I don't approach it. Um, so now I'm starting to figure out how to fully approach it. Um, yeah, yeah, if that makes sense to you guys. And it's always kind of helpful to do these studies and just try new things and fail completely. It does help a lot. Um, and I certainly feel like I'm getting better with these 90-minute art challenges than I ever have in a way. Um, uh, like because I kind of know what a certain period of time, what I can achieve within that, seeing these 90-minute art challenges, I've seen what I can achieve within 90 minutes. Um, and looking at maybe some of my complete fails in the past that I've done, um, I can look at those and be like, you know, I don't know how long, that took me, but I can see, oh, okay, well, you know, I can achieve this in 90 minutes, but that looked completely wrong. I don't know how long it took me. I think one is one of the DeviantArt challenges I did. Um, and I pretty much just did it to get the badge, but I think I would have spent maybe a couple of hours on it. But if I did it as a 90-minute art challenge, I might have actually um got it a little bit better. Because I feel with kind of 90-minute art challenges, the way I'm doing them, I am, I'm constantly painting for that 90 minutes. It's not, figuring things out, taking a break and coming back to it and getting sidetracked and then, rendering the fire and trying to find the reference for the fire and um, do all this and that. It's, I'm painting this and working on this painting. Um, I'm using the one reference. I'm not worried about any other references at all. I'm just using the one reference and painting that. Sometimes, um, with some of the 90-minute art challenges I've done, like the texture studies, um, and I think no, but with the texture studies, I had a little bit more a little bit more reference to look at. It wasn't just one image, but still, there was a little bit of that, finding the reference and things like that. Which did increase that hour and a half in a way of finding references. But it's an hour and a half of actually recording this, of actually painting. It's like you've got a little clock right next to your desk or something, And as soon as your pencil touches the paper, or your pencil, or your your pen is touching the Wacom tablet, it's clicking that timer, and it's slowly ticking away um, from the time until it goes to zero. It's kind of like that in a way. That's the way I'm approaching it, like a method. But I'm clocking in and clocking out as I go. Sometimes I'm clocking out for a small breather. Um, I think of um this one I went full force. I might have stopped once. I think I stopped once. And that was only for like 30 seconds or a minute or something, just to have a little breather towards the end. Um, you know, I think 40-ish minutes in, I was like, stop, have a break, for a second, and just, think about where it's going, and then back into it. I didn't do many stops at all, didn't have to find any reference, it was just pure painting for an hour, trying to figure this thing out. So that's always good. It's always good just to have that kind of focus on it. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm having a lot more focus on what I'm doing in front of me. The painting, the illustration. I'm trying to get done within 90 minutes. I'm more focused than I was on an image that I created for a challenge. I wasn't so focused on it at the time. I wanted to create it. Um, and I don't feel like it's the best I've done. I just wanted to kind of do it just for fun to get that badge and everything like that. Um, but having that focus does help. I think. Um, you know, that's I feel is important. Um, is having focus on what you're painting and illustrating. Because without it, you're all over the place. Um, yeah. That's why it's always good if, you're not focused on painting and creating what you're doing now, you're just kind of doing it randomly, and it might be good to, get whatever is on your mind and what your thoughts are at the moment out of the way and done. If you're painting here or you're trying to paint and you're just sitting here thinking about, oh, I need to get the dishes done, or I need to um you know go hang out the washing, or all this stuff that you're thinking of while you're painting, um then you get distracted, and you won't be so focused on painting. You won't get much done. In this 90-minute challenge that I'm painting, I'm usually pretty focused here on painting. It's usually just me painting. I don't care about anything else. It's just me painting. Um, and it's good to have that, that focus where it's just you sitting there illustrating, painting what we could be you standing, or you going out to a certain location or something to do some drawing or some painting. But yeah, just you. Or with a buddy, you could be focused with a buddy. I don't know, but illustrating, creating something, focusing on it. That's always good. As you can see, I'm trying a little bit of different coloring here, a little bit of different hues. Um, Trying to get the shading in too, as well, trying to make it look like fluffy clouds. And I can kind of see it now that it kind of works. But for me, it doesn't work enough. Unfortunately. And you are kind of your own biggest critic in a way, usually. Some people can be kind of um they kind of love their work, and they think everything they create is amazing, or great, or epic, or whatever you want to use, whatever word. There are some people out there that have that mindset, and there's nothing, there's not exactly, it's not exactly wrong, I'd say. Um, However, there are downsides there. And same with, if you're super hypercritical with your work, and you hate everything you create, and um, you know, you feel like you can do better and things like that. Um, there's an upside to that and a downside to that too. So, there's no winning with if you love everything you create, and things like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Downside is, that um, you might not see um, some mistakes and things. You might think, oh, that's just my work, and you might not see some of the fails and mistakes because you think it's the work you're doing is awesome. So you don't see all that, those fails and um, not so great things, like maybe your proportions off, or things like that that you don't notice because, oh, I love my work and that's it. Um, you know, but yeah, super hypercritical as well. If you're super hypercritical um, about your work, you always feel down, and you feel like you'll never improve. You feel like you want to, you're moving against mountains and things like that. Um, yeah. And for me, I feel like I'm somewhere in between, I guess. Um, there are points where I'm quite critical about my work. Like this one here, I think I've completely failed it. Um, but, I can see where I was going and what I was doing. Um, and, I take something from it. So, um, I find it interesting. But, there are pieces that I've done in the past that I really do like, and uh, you know, there are ups and downs with those too. I feel like I can improve better on some of them. And sometimes I amaze myself, with what I do, and it's always good to do that to, um, you know, go above beyond and be like, oh my gosh, I did that. um, or did this painting within 90 minutes. Um, it's good what I've achieved within 90 minutes. Um, yeah. I'm not too sure. I think with this piece here at the moment, like it was looking, for me, what I was saying before, I think um it was looking better a little bit before. I think maybe somewhere along while I was painting it, I might have took it a little bit too far somewhere. Um and that's where I kind of lost what I had. If that makes sense. And that can happen sometimes, that's why kind of making these layers can work, but um yeah. Maybe I did take it too far and overpaint it maybe a little bit before. And sometimes it's down to, 90 minutes. So the other thing about it, towards the end of the painting, you might be like 40 minutes in and you might be kind of finished. And then you're like, oh, what do I improve on? I've got 90 minutes for this, challenge. What do I do with it? Do I work on this? Do I work on that? And you just kind of go all around the place, um, fixing the whole thing. And sometimes, you might fix something that doesn't need to be fixed, you know? So that is another challenging thing, and you know that may take me a little bit longer to work out and improve on. But you know these 90-minute art challenges do help for that as well. It's just you know I'm going to do them regularly. You know I've done two within the last week, and I'll be doing one next week. So I guess that's what I might do. I might do I'll keep up with just doing kind of one a week for now, which is easy enough, and just slowly um, progress. But now looking at it now, it's like I've saved it again. Um, so I don't know, and you know, it's been interesting too because in the last uh, week, I think it was a couple of days ago, I was watching. I think it's a Will Tyrrell. Don't quote me on that. Um, he's an pretty sure it's Will Tyrrell. Yeah. He's awesome artist, children's book illustrator on YouTube. He's created some awesome books, and you know I was watching one of his videos recently because lately you know I've been keeping up with Poppy Chill's videos, and also I watch a little bit of the schoolisms, um, trying to keep up with the schoolism kind of thing. Um, and so I've been delving into watching a few other YouTubers every now and again. Um, you know, keeping up with watching a little bit of Adam Duff as well, and watching yeah Will Terrell, like I said. Um, and you know he was talking about children's book illustration, and one of the things he was talking about, um, it was talking about like 10 key tips, which I think I've watched some of it. I don't think I watched all of it. I need to watch the whole thing. Um, but the first few tips was amazing, and it was like the one of the things he learned um, was you know kind of in the distance. Um, you know things get blurry, obviously. But they also kind of lose a little bit of hue and saturation. They lose their saturation a little bit towards the end, which brings the foreground makes it brighter. And that you know that kind of thing was like, oh my god, really? You know, and him reinforcing it um was awesome. You know, and it does go to show, you know, whatever uh you think you know, sometimes someone just says it in the right way or shows you in the right way, and it just clicks with you and um resonates with you. So lately, I've been, you know, trying that out in some of my paintings and trying to implement those elements a little bit to help the illustration and see if that can help. Like I say, I've got to watch the whole video because there's a lot more in there um, that I will definitely be trying, you know, and watching some of these videos. Like, I think Brondo, don't quote me on his full YouTube tag or anything like that. Um, but yeah, he has a lot of stuff like that that just, you know, he might say it in the right way and it just clicks with me. Excuse me. Yeah, so sometimes it just works like that where, you know, some artists say it a million times and you still don't, you know, really understand it, and then one person says it in a way or shows you in a certain way and you just clicks or resonates. You know, sometimes it's like that. Um for me, definitely, it can be like that sometimes. Um, you read the same thing over and over again in many different ways, but you know, it's same with like yeah, reading it. If you read it a million times, but you never implement it, kind of reading about um something. Maybe you're reading about lineal structure or anatomy, or you're reading about something. If you don't apply it, don't use it, it will eventually just fade away. It won't fully click. You say, "Oh yeah, I do understand it." You know, you're reading it and you think you understand it, but not applying it, or anything, um, it doesn't really reinforce that you actually understand what is being said there. You know, if that makes sense. You know, if um, someone says, to draw this square, you draw a line here and draw a line there. Um, but if you don't end up drawing those two lines, um, you won't fully understand how to do that. If that makes sense at all. Um, but yeah, this has been my 90-minute art challenge. Twice as fast. See, these videos are 90 minutes long, but I've gone twice as fast. Um, looking now, I don't feel it's too bad. I feel like it's definitely kind of stretched quite far. Nothing's kind of rendered quite well or anything like that, but it's there. That's what I feel. Um, it was fun, and I look forward to doing the next 90-minute art challenge. Excuse me. Thanks for joining me, whether you join me on Twitch, or my YouTube channel. Like I said before, you guys can check out my Twitch down in the description. Or if you're interested in watching this on my Twitch, you can go check out my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me today. Keep creating, keep drawing, everyone. Feel free to do this 90-minute art challenge. And see you in the next video.